In this video, we're going to go over a tip in regards to scripts and really just a vague concept of what scripts to use. And this is also relevant just in terms of sales too. So particularly speaking to office managers, even technicians to some extent, canvassers, but primarily office managers, right? You guys are going to be the person in authority that is in a position to potentially apply this script, okay? So this script, or really set of scripts, is just to define that try to avoid asking questions that are possessive. But what I mean by that is there's a few times that you're going to need to get certain information, and it's really good to be able to differentiate and ask that question in a way that's not possessive versus that question being perceived as being possessive. So a couple examples of this are going to be, getting an email address or a physical address of someone. So the way that I tend to ask it that tends to be received a little bit better is to ask, what's the address of the property? Or what's an email that we can send this quote to? Not, what's your email or what's your address? Asking them in that phrasing, the second phrasing, what's your email, your address, that can be a little bit possessive and a little bit more demanding, intimidating, by chance, that can be received in a way that we don't necessarily want that phrasing or that comment, that question to be received, okay? So I tend to try to ask it in a more vague way, a more vague tone of voice that isn't about, what's your address, what's your email, it's what's the email, or what is an email we can send this quote to, or what's the address of the property that you need the gutters cleaned at, So try to differentiate and phrase your questions in a way that's not possessive, because doing so can be a little bit softer. It can be a little bit easier for the person to receive that question and give the information back that we're requesting. So try to ask things in a manner that's not possessive, i.e. don't ask, what's your address? What's your email? Ask, what's an email that we can send the quote to? Or what's the address of the property that you need, this task done at? That's a really good differentiation or thing to differentiate in terms of phrasing when asking questions, and apply that to scripts.